It gets me going every time. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, is it? Yes, it's Wednesday. That's right. One more day. One more day until the 2021 NFL draft. The Packers undoubtedly getting ready, getting geared up to select a running back or an H-back or something, maybe even a punter in the first round to make Twitter melt down. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you are all as excited as I am to finally be here on draft eve day. Boo, baby. Come on now. Isn't this fun? Isn't it just a little anticipation, a little trepidation, a little anxiousness? This is the stuff. This is what you live for. Not all this, months of blabbing about nobody gives a crap. Come on. Now, this is the stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Blake, good morning. Oh, my goodness. Blake read his one and only mock draft this year from ESPN writers. Big Bad Bob Domofsky has the Packers taking a wide receiver. When is Domofsky going to learn? Can't trust the DIC. Can't trust Big Bad Domofsky, I guess, either. You got that right. Rob's a good sport, though. I mean, he did say on Twitter that it's 9 years in a row he's gotten the pick wrong. So, he knows. He leans into it. Nothing wrong with that. Do I see us taking 10 guys? Ted took 11 in 2013, but it doesn't seem a goody trait. No, Tonks, MD, I would highly suggest checking out the chat I had with Andy Herman last night. We touched on this subject. I would be absolutely shocked if Brian drafts 10 new guys. I think there will be movement around the board. I doubt they come away with 10 drafted players. It's going to be interesting to see how they utilize the currency they have either early in the draft or especially late, if they tend to maybe want to bundle some of those picks and jump up and just be done with it, so to speak. Brian himself said it's going to be a tough year for undrafted free agents to make this squad. It's deep, it's talented, and there's no doubt that it's going to be a tough camp battle for some of these young guys. There's some entrenched starters. There's obviously opportunities in places, but I would be surprised if they take 10 guys. I just don't think. I mean, Brian also said they're up to 70 guys on their 90-man roster. That's way more than usual heading into a draft. Just a lot of uncertainty with the draft process, medicals, holes in that kind of information, etc. The uncertainty there, I would be surprised if they bring more uncertainty into their locker room by drafting 10 guys. Big, thanks for the super chat. Would you rather see us trade up or trade down? Personally, unless there's a big offer, I would try to stay or trade up. What would I like? What I would like doesn't matter. Doesn't worth the hill of beans. But I'd stay there and make the pick. I think the way this draft falls, especially the top with all the quarterbacks that are going to be taken, you've definitely seen there has to be some kind of run on offensive tackles in this first round. Now that is a position of need for the Packers. I do think they can find talent a little bit later in the draft. I think it sets up well to push defensive talent to them, whether that's corner, maybe even defensive tackle. And I know the Packers have been throwing draft resources at the defense for decades, but it just seems to make the most sense, especially if they can if there's a big body guy like Barmore who happens to drop. Maybe you trade up to 21 with the Colts if he does drop and you make sure you grab him. But yeah, I would probably tend to just stick with the pick and make it, because I do think it could fall pretty well for them. Corey, thanks for the super chat. Can you explain how the Bears move up to grab a quarterback? No, they don't really have the draft capital to pull that off, do they? I ask because I just want to make sure they continue to fuck that position up. I mean, future picks are the one place they could. And this is a year where future picks probably have a little bit more currency than current year picks, just because of what I was talking about before. In the scouting community, personnel people, I mean, this is a really kind of hit and miss year as far as what they know about these prospects, the film they have, the herky-jerky nature of the college football season and the offseason, has created the narrative that next year's picks are a little bit more valuable. So maybe the Bears go into the future and use some of those picks to try and move up. But we all know, even if they do, they're going to screw up the pick and pick the wrong guy. Come on. This is the Bears we're talking about. We all know that's going to happen. Devin, thanks for the super chat. Never change the intro music. Devin, I never will. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a positive note on the intro music. So many complaints. Mostly old people saying it's too loud. But you know what? Screw them if they can't take a joke. Sean, thanks for the super chat. Pre-draft team grades: Jets A, Packers C, and the Bears still suck. That's pretty good, Sean. That I would think that you wake up on Friday morning after the first round and you'll get that even after the draft. Yes, I think that's a good start. Riley, thanks for the super chat. When a team trades up, do they ever tell the team they are trading with who they are drafting, or does the GM trust his board that his guy won't be taken with that pick? It depends on the relationship. Most likely, no. But if let's say it's John Schneider and Brian Gutekunst on the phone, yeah, they're talking about who they're going to pick. But if it's somebody you don't deal with regularly, probably not. But again, that's one of the things people I don't think really kind of maybe not grasp, but they don't really kind of take into consideration what a relationship-driven business the NFL is in all aspects. Andy, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, draft mechanics question here. Has the personnel department already called prospective trade partners and set up trades? How does it work? Kind of. Not specifically like, okay, we're going to call about this pick, but they definitely have been making calls now. When I say they, it's guys like John Eric Sullivan and all of Brian's lieutenants in the personnel grouping. They have a number of teams that they're each responsible for at the level, the kind of lieutenant level underneath Brian. Now, Brian may have had a chat or two with guys like John Schneider or guys he knows around the league, but for the most part, there are a number of personnel guys who are tasked with keeping lines of communication open with an X number of teams, like 5 or 6, 4 or 5, whatever. And so they have had conversations, certainly throughout the last month, what have you, about, hey, if such and such falls, and would you be amiable to, or could you possibly see maybe a trade here with this, like if we offered XYZ, trying to kind of gauge the parameter of a possible trade. But the formation of the actual offer wouldn't come until, the day of, when they're on the clock. And then Brian would say is like, you've talked to the Colts, right? Okay, let's give them a call. And then Brian would get on the phone with Chris Ballard and say, so I know we've been talking about XYZ. Can we lock this up? So the groundwork definitely gets laid in the month plus leading up to the draft. No doubt about that. Nathan, thanks for the super chat. Fully vaccinated Green Bay going to draft a Hall of Famer Euchre season. Now that is what I am talking about, sir. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Could you see Green Bay taking Frank Darby day 2? Sure. Man, they could take anybody. Anybody. Outside of a punter on day 2? Yes. Absolutely. 1,000%. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats because people get so upset when I miss super chats. Okay, I didn't. Good. Could the 1996 or 1997 team beat the 2010 team? Travis, could they? They'd whoop the 2010 team. Come on. Maybe not whoop, but we asked Leroy Butler this last year when he was on Transplants, and he said it would be like 35-10. Obviously he was on that team, so he's going to say that. But yeah, no. The 96 team, number 1 offense, number 1 defense. Reggie White laying waste to fools. Come on now. Come on. Reggie versus Bakhtiari. I'm down for that. But, they just flip Reggie to the other side, take on Turner. Oh, my goodness. Chad, thanks for the super chat. Does Raji have any children entering the draft? Not yet. I'm sure they're on their way, though. Juan, thank you for the super chat. Just rewatched Transplants, episode 159. To understand the McGinn beef, best part was Corey predicting J.K. Scott's terrible tackling. That's outstanding. Juan doing a deep dive into Transplants history. That's great. Oh, outstanding. Devin, thank you for the super chat. Keep LaFleur in the closet to make room for the goated scouts in the draft room. They don't get enough credit. There's a lot going on in that comment, Devin. I wasn't quite sure where it was headed. Yeah. I mean, LaFleur will be in the room. There's no doubt about it. And the scouts get their due. I mean, the thing is, in the personnel community, everybody knows everybody. There's no secrets. I mean, they do kind of keep those guys out of the public eye, although the Packers have done a better job of putting scouts in front of the podium after a guy gets picked. Give the guy a little shine, so to speak. But they don't do nearly as much as other teams. I mean, hell, the Lions have a whole freaking YouTube series about their personnel department getting ready for the draft. Could you imagine? Packers would have a heart attack if that happened. Any non-Packers team draft you're fascinated to see? Walter, the Patriots. After they went ham in free agency, I'm fascinated. Can they find a quarterback of the future? Let Bill kind of reload and go on another run? I love Bill Belichick. I mean, I know. It's like whatever happened with Spygate, whatever happened with Deflategate, whatever happened, Tom Brady made him, blah, 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 all that nonsense. He's a great fucking football coach. He's an amazing fucking mind. And I would love to see him retool, regroup, and just go on another run. Don't hate me. Sorry. I'd love it. Just to shut up all the Brady fanboys, too. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. I'd rather draft Leroy Butler than a Hall of Famer. Oh, Snaps Pro. I'll play it. EQ's brother in later rounds. Christian, we talked about that on the chat last night. Make sure you check it out. Why not, right? They've already drafted one St. Brown. Let's get another big body wide receiver. Never hurt anybody. David, thanks for the super chat. Who is a player that they could reasonably get at their current slot that you would love to see? Someone they might move up to get that you would like? Barmore. Get Kenny that running mate. You guys, I know you're going to get sick of it, and you're going to be sick of it right up until the draft comes and goes. But they got to get Kenny some help. Now, maybe there's a guy they have an eye on, maybe Osa later in the proceedings. But man, if they don't take somebody along the defensive front to come in and beef up that line, I have no idea what they're doing. None. Certainly not trying to get better. I'll tell you that right now. If Rodgers was in the draft room, who would he take in the first round? The highest rated wide receiver, probably. Have I tried Leap Vodka yet? Not yet, Steven. Still waiting to get my first taste, as it were. But yes, I would. I'm very much looking forward to it. I actually think when Leroy was on our show promoting it, they sent some, but they needed to send it to a Wisconsin address, so they sent it to my parents' house. So it's still there waiting for me. So hopefully when I get there for training camp, unless, of course, my mother and father have completely housed it, which that would surprise me. But it should be there waiting for me when I get to training camp. Nags loves Samuel Cosme. Don't you listen to that slander. He's fibbing about Barmore. Cosme would be a great pick. Man, let me tell you, Joseph, you've been going on about this shit for so long. If the Packers end up taking Cosme, I will do a cartwheel in the studio tomorrow night. I will do it live just for you because I'll be so happy for you. That's my promise to you, Joseph. Devin, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for reading my strange chat. Stay hip. Devin, nothing. Come on. That's not even close to the strangest chat I've gotten. Come on now. Boogie Basham, just for the name. Works for me. You got to quit talking about Barmore so it can actually happen. Fred, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Trading for Julio Jones, boring. Drafting Hoop Filior, day 3, amazing. Well, why does Kenny need help when BJ Raji is obviously coming back? That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Jason Owa at 29? That's a distinct possibility. He fits their athletic threshold. I know that. Oh, Kenny Sills. What a question. Talk about a Sophie's choice. White Russian or a Moscow Mule? I mean, it really depends on the weather, right? Damn, I'm going to go with White Russian, though. The dude's got a beverage here, man. I bet Yosh can convince Raji to come back. I don't doubt it for a second. I love it. O-line probably has the highest hit rate in drafts. Would you agree? O-line for the Packers? They've done a really good job with it, no doubt about it, but they've also missed on guys like Jason Spriggs, Derek Sherrod, what have you. So it's not like they're without blemishes there. But yes, they have done a pretty damn amazing job, whether Brian Balaga, David Bakhtiari, Corey Lindsley. Yeah, they've done a pretty damn good job there. No doubt about it. Andrew, thanks for the super chat. Where can we see your picks for the Pappies? Andrew, just the top 5 draft crushes video. Those are my selections. If the Packers draft any one of those. And what's funny is that I had so many people in the comments when I dropped it saying, oh, there's a lot of these guys aren't even highly rated. I'm like, yeah, because I want a chance. I want the Packers to maybe actually take more than one of these guys. So we'll see. Yeah, check out the top 5 draft crushes. If for those unaware, we have a very generous Patreon member, Charlene, who lives in the Philippines, who has said if the Packers draft 2 of my draft crushes, she will personally buy us a bottle of Pappy's for the studio. So fingers crossed. William, thanks for the super chat. Hi from the Bermuda Triangle. Whoever they draft, I hope they can tackle, especially the punter we're taking in the first round. Bring it, baby. I love so many jokes about punters in the first round. They're going to take a running back. They're going to take an H-back early. Man, I'm praying for the drama. I'm living for the tizzy that Packers Twitter is going to be in after tomorrow night. It's coming. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Hope you get out of the Bermuda Triangle, William. Nuclear Family, thank you for the super chat. How much input should a quarterback have in draft selections? 0. Feels like I wouldn't like it that if I was a scout. What are your thoughts on Tony or a slot wide receiver at 29? I like Tony a lot. I really like his game. I'll be surprised if the Packers take him. I'll be surprised if they take a slot wide receiver at 29. That just does not fit the Packers mold. But I like that player a lot. I think he will do some damage in the NFL. No doubt about it. And especially if you had Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, but I don't think that's going to happen. Charlene is the GOAT. The GOAT! It's true. Banky wants that 4th round punter. You know it. God help me. Excited to see who the Packers take, but more excited to see how the Bears screw it up. Bears still suck. Justin, I could not agree more with that sentiment. That's pretty outstanding. Aaron Rodgers is the real GOAT. Brady is a false GOAT. Man, they're great. They're both great players. Bart Starr's better than both of them, though, so it doesn't really matter. Hello from Appleton Eggs. What's up, Thomas? R.I.P. to Roostek. I don't even know what that is, Thomas. Ted Thompson would be proud of the way Goot handled the offseason. Brandy, yes, this was a quintessential Ted Thompson offseason. Resign all your own guys. Don't dip your toe into free agency whatsoever, except maybe for a long snapper. And just let the draft come. Very Ted Thompson-esque. Would I draft a center first round? Probably not. Obviously they've shown they have the ability to spotlight and find guys later in the draft along the interior and at center. They have Elton Jenkins in-house. They've got Lucas Patrick, who they have, put at center and done really good things on offense with. I don't think it's a major position of need. I know people see it that way because Corey was so good, but I really think one of the reasons they are able to allow Corey Linsley to walk is because they've got guys in-house who can do the job. Now, if there is somebody sitting there at 29 who they have rated as, say, a top 15 prospect, and he drops to 29, yeah, they'll take him. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I would personally, I probably would try and look for offensive tackle, defensive tackle, or a corner. That'd be me. That's just something I'm into. Skylar, thank you for the super chat. I'm a little young to remember Javon Walker super well. How good was he? I wouldn't be mad at Rondell Moore in the first round if he's available. Moore's a good player. Javon Walker was really fucking good. Obviously the contract stuff tended to ruin the relationship with the team. They ended up trading him. Injuries were a part of it. But when he was first drafted and part of the team in 2002, that guy was really fucking good. It sucks that the off-field stuff and the injuries kind of played into it, kind of fizzled out in Green Bay. But yeah, when he was right, he was a really good player. No doubt about it. Marshall, thanks for the super chat. Since Rodgers said he was a shock value analyst years ago, do you find it hilarious that Skip Bayless has a daily personal vendetta against Rodgers? No, it's not hilarious because he knows that moves the needle. Just the fact that you're asking about it. He knows. Skip knows what he's doing. Every time somebody mentions any of these guys in the chat, whether it's Skip or Colin Cowherd, they're winning. Florio's kind of like that too. They know exactly what they're doing. Ain't no mystery. That's a W for him. And Rodgers always moves the needle. Kevin, thanks for the super chat. I haven't seen this asked yet, so what age Pappy are you guys after? I hear 15 years a sweet spot. This is for the 15-year Pappy fun. Thanks, Kevin. I personally don't care. Corey's a total snob, so I'm sure he has a very specific year that he's after. I could give a shit. That's just me. Is it wet? Is it in front of me in a glass? I'm cool. I'm good. All right, everybody. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on Cheesehead TV. We're one day away, folks. A reminder: there is no trivia tonight. There is no Patreon happy hour, but I'll be back tomorrow morning with another Packers Daily, and then tomorrow night we will be rocking it in the studio in Green Bay, New York City to Green Bay, all sorts of fun. Patreon members, you will be getting the Zoom information posted tomorrow on the Patreon page. Make sure you're looking out for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. AJ Dillon is going to help kick things off. We're going to have a number of guests, media, players, etc., strolling through. Although I do have to say publicly, I'm not so sure. We may have to rescind David Bakhtiari's invitation due to his slander about Culver's last night on Twitter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you check out our exchange. The man is suspect, is all I have to say. He's a California homer who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about when it comes to fast food restaurants. That notwithstanding, please do join us tomorrow night for the live stream of the draft. It's going to be a ton of fun. I can't thank you guys enough each and every day coming here every morning to talk Packers. It is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for making Cheesehead TV part of your daily Packers routine. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.